It's Dr. Glenn Livingston, and I want to talk to you about the math of customer retention and why it's so important. And I'm going to do this illustrating with a membership site, but this is really relevant to anything where customers pay you on an ongoing basis. And there's two things that I want to get across. One is the sensitivity of your overall profits to the overall retention rate. And the second thing is the impact of the retention rate on how many new customers you actually have to acquire just to stay at the level that you're at. So let's start with a theoretical situation of 500 paying members at $50 a month. And I've put in some, since this is for a continuity site, a membership site, I have put in some typical expenses that might be associated with that, like credit card processing fees and affiliate commissions, and what percent of orders are coming from affiliates, because not every order comes from affiliates. Some come from direct pay-per-click, and some don't have that affiliate expense. And if you run the math, what you'll find is that if you're starting with 500 members at a 95% retention rate, that you wind up with this gross income, you're going to lose this many number of customers every month, and blah, blah, blah. You'll wind up with a net profit of about $20,000 a month, which most people would be very, very happy with. Now, look what happens if I drop this just to 90%. Actually, let's bring this back to 95% again, which is about where I am with the hyper-responsive club, by the way, though we have more members. And at 95%, you'll see that at the end of the first year, we're making a little more than we started with, because we're gradually, between the number of people that come in, assuming we attract one person per day, and the number of people that drop out, we're actually accumulating new members. And you'll see that we're winding up making $22,000 a month at the end of the year, just naturally, without running any aggressive promotions or anything like that, and about $250,000 of profit per year. However, if you drop this just down to 90%, look what happens. You're losing $75,000 a year. And the reason for that is that you lost the ability to maintain equilibrium. Now your membership site is slowly losing customers, and you've got a tremendous pressure to aggressively market and bring in the new people. And you'll see that at 95%, this number down here says you need 25 new customers to maintain equilibrium every month. You can download the spreadsheet, by the way, below the video. You get that by just multiplying 500 times 5%, which is 100 minus 95%. And that's how you get to the 25 people that are going to drop out every month. And that tells you that you really do need to maintain a retention rate of, I think about 93% will keep me break even. Let's see. No, not even that. 94%. Well, I could run a scenario here. Yeah, 94% will keep me at break even if we are running in that scenario. Now, let's leave this at 95% again. The other thing to recognize is that the larger your customer base becomes, the more important that retention rate is. Because if I bring this to 1,000 customers to start with, you'll see even at a 95% retention rate that the number of active members start to drop, because 5% of 1,000 is 50 people dropping out every month, and I'm only adding one person a day. So as the membership base gets larger, the importance of retention goes up and up and up, because to maintain equilibrium, I probably would have to maintain 97%. So the bottom line is that retention rate is exceptionally important. Now, let's look at a typical, I'm going to talk to you about how to maintain this kind of retention shortly, but let's look at a typical site. Let's say you're going to 70%, and that, I think, is about average on the internet for membership sites. They're retaining 70% per month. Look at this. You start with 1,000 people and you're making 40 grand a month, which is great, but by the end of a year, you've lost almost all your members. because losing 30 people per month is just exhausting. You've got to bring 300 new people in a month every month, and you can't do that. What all this means is that if you are marketing anything which has an ongoing value, where you have repeat purchase from your customers, that your retention rate is extraordinarily important. I think that's ultra clear. And you can download that spreadsheet and play with that. But here's what I want to show you. I want to talk about how to keep a retention rate high. And I'm shamelessly promoting my club while I'm doing this. You keep retention rate high by three factors. The first thing is you need to give people what they want before you give them what they need. And I give people both at the same time, but I make sure that they're focused on what they really want first and foremost. And here's how that works in my market. What you have here in the main section of the first month is the things that you really need to get focused and make a dramatic improvement in your business and really think through the foundation of the keyword conversation that you're targeting. How to choose your single most important keyword based upon volume and bid price and relevance. And it's really a step-by-step process to do that. But in order to get people to purchase and feel satisfied, I had to put in tremendous value with everything that they want. See, what people want in my market are techniques and little secrets about how to make immediate improvements, and I've got to satisfy people with that first before they will trust me that they might be willing to go through that four-letter word called work to get what they actually need. And so I've got these 4 advanced videos about hyper-responsive AdWords principles, and if you haven't seen those are very important. How to choose profitable markets. There's a lot of people that don't understand how to do that, and that's, I think, over 8 hours of very specific instruction about how to do that. I've got DVDs about emotional marketing that people haven't seen elsewhere. I've got a full copywriting package. I've got a special interview I did with Perry Marshall years and years back, where we talked about direct marketing for service businesses. I got Perry to allow me a $1 access to his mastermind group, which is normally $100 a month. But for my buyers, he's allowing them a $1 access. And I don't know why more people don't take advantage of that. That's extraordinarily valuable, actually, because you can get on the phone and talk to him every month if you're willing to do it in front of a group, instead of paying him $700 an hour. And Perry's work is where I learned AdWords, and so that's very valuable. And I overwhelm people with value like that. I give them a copy of AdWords Checkmate, and I actually have the first hour of my original How to Double Your Business seminar. So there's just so much stuff that they want for that initial buy-in, which is very low price. And then I give them what they really need. And by the time they're all excited about getting what they wanted, they're willing to check out what they actually need. And the truth is that once they go through this, then they're hooked. Once they go through the exercises and work through the spreadsheets on choosing the single most important keyword in their business, they have revelations about their business that are immediately relieving to them, because they realize that they're wasting resources and focusing in the wrong areas, and it gives them all sorts of ideas, even if they never go any further. And the other way to keep customers is to have everything be really principle-based and build on each other. So, this is month 1, and you wouldn't see this until month 2. I obviously have all the months loaded in my site. But in month 2, we talk about building on that single keyword to create an entire but very focused target and build a hyper-intelligence machine. And this is probably the most powerful breakthrough I've had in a long time. The month 3 has to do with surveys, and this is the most up-to-date version of my survey methodology. So I think you see where I'm going. It builds and builds and builds on each other, and you can get that all at Hyper-Responsive Marketing Secrets, or just glensentme.com. glensentme.com. Okay, thanks.